Grand Risings, everybody. How y'all doing, chosen ones, divine messengers, and holy watchers? How are we this lovely day, Monday? Okay, well, up here in Western Massachusetts, we're getting all that rain following them storms that are moving up to the East Coast. So it's a lot of rain, but you know what? It's feeding nature out there, and it's getting our flowers and everything the nutrition and nourishment that they need. So I'm not going to complain. It is what it is. Anyway, what I have for you today is one that it's crossed my mind a lot of times, but I've never I had to kind of dig and find more about it. And this is about what images you see in the photo versus the mirror, especially regarding your cell phone. Now, back in my day, I sound like my old grandmother or something. I was, y'all know that I'm, in a week and a half, I'll be the age of 60. And so back in the days of the 70s and, late 60s, taking pictures, they did the snap Polaroids and all that. And we didn't focus on all that. It got to come out so good, or, I don't like that picture. Try another one, da-da-da-da. We have gotten so comfortable with these phones that a lot of people are addicted to the selfie stuff, and they call it selfitis, but it's not deemed a legal mental illness or nothing like that. But in fact, what Yah has to say about it today is what's important. And I've got the most fantastic video for y'all breaking things down. So I'm just going to talk a little bit on it. Did you know that every photo you take with that cell phone, that smartphone, is in 2D? That's why sometimes you take a picture and you're like, I don't like that one. Or, ooh, why I look like that? Because it has a close-up view on you that's it's like minimally microscopic view of you. So you see every nook and cranny and crevice, things that to the naked eye most normal people see, you don't see. That's why when you're in your mirror at home, that's not what you see, is it? You're okay when you get up and get dressed before you begin your day. You look in the mirror, you do what you got to do and all that. And mirrors are another thing I'm going to talk about later on, because there's a lot of demonic stuff attached to mirrors. So you got to be careful with the use of mirrors too. And in all actuality, we ain't never even supposed to be using mirrors. But we've had them around for so long, it's just there's some things you need to know. So we'll get to that later. But as far as the photos, there's what's called distortion. The processing can lead to an unnatural look if it's over-processed due to size and all that. Most of you figure it out and play with your phones, being how close or not close, limited stabilization, shakiness, the sharpness, and all these are contributing factors, and how much light versus not enough light. The small sensors and lenses, the camera's technology tends to have a dirty lens factor in processing, and the algorithms play part of it that are part of the smartphone. The phone cameras don't generally capture the accurate look of you. It has a lens distortion factor. It may distort your features and the closeness, like I just said, and they can't replicate your mirror view. A lot of people don't know that. They just feel so disappointed, and that can lead to some, it flattens our features. It distorts our appearance depending on the angle and the proximity of the face to the naked eye. Anyway, what it does is it can lead you into depression, anxiety, and most of us, what it's done is lead us into the use of all this filtering stuff to keep up with society. But if you get extreme with the filters, it could take over your whole identity and make you a whole new person. Now, I'm not being hypocritical here, because I always tell y'all I use filters, but I'm not using filters that really change the whole trajectory of me. I ain't looking like no little Kim up in here. I use it for the makeup, and I make sure I find one that's as close to natural as I can get. And then I just like this one because I like that little star effects right here, because we're talking, spiritual angels, things like that. So I do that. But other than that, I don't go crazy with all that, because you think I'm seriously going to wake up every morning putting a whole bunch of goopy goop on my face when I'm practicing holistic stuff just to sit in front of this camera and talk to y'all. I do want to look decent, so I slap on the filter. I sure do, because I get up so early sometimes I ain't finished getting myself together, but I have what my messages have come through to me to lay this footage down to you. So that's what I do. So I'm talking too much. We're going to go on to the starting of the video, and I'll be back. So keep watching.
Have you ever looked at a photo of yourself and felt a strange discomfort. Not just, I don't like how I look, but something deeper, something off. Like the image doesn't truly capture you, like you're there, but not really. What if I told you? It's not about the lighting, not the angle, not even the camera. What if there's a spiritual reason, a sacred message, hidden behind every picture you hate? You're not just a face, your energy, your frequency, your spirit. And sometimes, the lens of the world cannot translate the language of your soul. This isn't just about vanity. It's about identity. It's about why the world keeps failing to see the real you. And today, you're going to find out why. But I need you to do something first. If you've ever felt invisible in your own life, if you've ever wondered why you don't shine the way others do, then this message was sent to you, not by chance, but by calling. So like this video, right now, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment 1111 below, because 1111 is the divine code of awakening. It's the universe whispering, you're starting to see the truth. Now breathe and get ready. What you're about to hear will shift something inside you forever. Shall we begin? Look closely at your own reflection. Not the one in the mirror, not the one on your screen. I mean the one behind your eyes. Who are you? Really? Because here's the truth no one tells you. You might not look good in photos, because the person in that picture isn't you. It's a mask, a projection, a version of yourself built from fear, judgment, and old stories that were never yours to carry. You see, when your soul, the purest, most radiant part of you, is out of sync with the image you've accepted as you, the camera captures the tension. It picks up the misalignment. Your body says, smile. But your spirit whispers, this isn't me. Maybe you've been performing, trying to fit into roles, into expectations, into molds you were never meant to fill. And so every time someone snaps a picture, you shrink. Not because you're not beautiful, but because beauty fades when truth is hidden. You weren't born to be a replica. You were born to be a revelation. So here's the question you need to ask yourself right now. Who is the version of me that I've been showing the world? And why have I been hiding the rest? Because until those two selves meet, the seen and the sacred, your reflection will always feel like a stranger. And the camera will keep showing you someone you don't recognize. But what if the reason you've never looked right in photos is because the real you hasn't stepped forward yet? Hold on to that thought, because what comes next will shake the air around your spirit. Don't blink. Have you ever noticed how some people glow, even in the simplest photo? It's not their makeup. It's not the filter. It's their energy. Because energy, whether you see it or not, is always speaking. And the truth is, some of us are carrying energy that isn't ours. Pain we never healed. Words we never deserved. People who drained us. But we kept close. These things don't just disappear. They linger, they cling, and they wrap around your aura like smoke, clouding your essence, dulling your shine, distorting your presence. It's why you look at a picture and think, I look tired. But it's not tired. It's spiritual exhaustion. A soul weighed down by things you were never meant to hold on to. Toxic relationships. Unforgiven wounds. Thoughts that whisper, you're not enough. They don't just hurt your heart. They warp your image. Because when your spirit is suffocating under darkness, the camera doesn't lie. It captures the truth beneath the surface. And sometimes that truth is, you've been in survival mode for so long, you forgot what freedom even looks like.
Okay, Chosen One family, let's move on to part 2, where we get into mirror versus photo, and we see what God has to say about it. Stay tuned. See you in the next one. Keep watching.